Is she on here?
everyone. Yeah, can you
Oh,
hear me?
hey,
Yeah.
hey. How's it going?
It's going great. I can't breathe at all today. Like, I think that's probably a symptom of being 7 months pregnant. So if I like run out of breath, you'll have to forgive me.
It'll be fine. No worries at all. Thanks so much for coming on here. I use Trello and know the value of it. And I know Stevie now uses Trello. And if you're on the call and have never heard of Trello, never used it, or maybe you just like heard of it and you don't really know what to use it for, this is for you. It's super beneficial and it's free. And it's a way for you to organize and have everything in one place. So I would say take it away. And if you want to share your screen, I can make you a co-host where you can do that. And
Okay.
we can do all those things.
So I didn't come up with this system. Hopefully people know that. I originally watched Alyssa from Hustle Humbly's Trello class, which they have on YouTube. So if you need to like refer back to like the basics, that's a great resource. You just literally search like Alyssa's Trello class and it will come up. I obviously like did some different things, and everyone has a different way their brain works and everyone has a different system, you know, that's going to work for them and their business and how you do things. You know, we're all very different. You know, I can show this one way that I do it to all of you guys, and I'm sure everyone will do it completely different. So feel free to ask questions, but I'm going to share my screen and then just take you through like what I do, and then hopefully that will be helpful, and then we'll go from there. Sound good?
Sounds good.
So,
That's awesome. Yeah, I love how like
customizable it is. Very customizable.
I loved how you like had shared your board. Oh wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I think.
Like
now you're frozen. No, you're not. So this is your Trello. You like Amanda said, you sign up. It's for free. You can upgrade to like a pro version for $10, and that has extra things in it. But other than that, this is the free version. I don't pay for anything. So these are like my main boards that I use. So prospects and pipeline are like the main two that I'll focus on today. So pipeline is obviously like, we all know we're real estate agents, we have a pipeline. So it's all the people that you're going to, be talking with on a weekly, daily basis. So how I have it set up is I have pre-listing. So, seller calls me, says, I'm thinking about selling my house. This is my seller template. So every seller starts in this little tab. So these are, I don't know what these are called. These are called lists, these little lists right here. And then these little things are called cards. So in the card, you can do a lot. You can create labels, and then you can create a description, and then you can create checklists, and then you can, do all sorts of stuff. You can add attachments and all kinds of things. But I'll just kind of do an overview and then do like a more in-depth. So every seller starts here. So I take this card and I copy it, and I just change it to say Mr. Jones and then their address. And then so I keep all of these things and I can move them into a position underneath this seller template. And then so once I have this person on here, you can also download the app. And so when you go over to their house, you can just write, you're walking through their house, you just let them know like you're going to take some notes, and as you're walking through, take notes on what they have to say about their house, or while you're on the phone with them, there's a spot for you to take notes. And then what I did was create checklists. So before I meet them, I send them a pre-listing email, create a timeline, a rough estimate, based off of what they've told me, they want to be out of their house by December. So I'll get like an idea for them, schedule the listing appointment, listing agreement signed, and then this is my pre-list checklist. So the super cool thing about this, so like if I've done all these things and I don't want it, so too, when you check off boxes, it will show you like how far done you are, which is great. And then say you got the listing agreement signed, so you don't need this checklist here anymore, you can delete it. And then you have your next checklist. So then like when you go into escrow or when you go live on the MLS, then you can just keep deleting these so that you don't have to worry about them like once you've done all those things. I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself. But so that's how I set up a seller. So then, once we have the listing agreement signed and it's an active listing, then I just move this card over to here. And then now they're in my active listing list. And so the nice thing about this, what Alyssa said too when she was teaching her class was, usually, our brains are very smart. And once we know, sometimes we'll forget like, that Amanda needs to be sent the buyer's guide or whatever. But once we see their names right there, and like if we're focusing on buyers for this Wednesday, then I can just kind of look in here and see like, oh, who needs what? Like, oh, I haven't talked to Teresa in a while, so I'm gonna give her a call. Or, I'm gonna go on the MLS and look for things that she's interested or whatever it might be. But it's almost like the thing about CRMs is they get so overwhelming and you add so many people to them and like names get buried and you don't ever like, well, personally, I don't ever like have the mental capacity to be like, go through the whole entire, however many people that end up added on there and like be able to focus. So if I can see, who's under contract or who my active listings are, then I can better serve them and kind of refer back to what they need, if that makes sense. So for the pipeline, I have pre-listing, active listing, active buyers, pending contracts, and then closed contracts but still need items. So there's all those check boxes. One thing that you can do too, like so for a buyer, so if someone messages me on Instagram and they say I want to buy a house, then I just go on my Trello and I just copy this card because it already has the checklist and the labels and everything built in. So I'm just going to change their name to Betsy Buyer and make that position 3. And so then I can, when I give her a call, I can say, she's from Instagram. And when we're talking about what she's interested in, I have this whole thing is saved on my template. So every time I copy this card, this template, it copies the description, the labels, the checklist, literally everything that's in that card, it will copy. So then when I'm talking to her, I can go in here and change, or I can go in here and add the details that we talk about, and then I can go and send her my email and connect her with a lender. And then as things go through, then I'll just check those things off. And then like once we're in escrow, we just check those things off. So that's the nice thing about it is, she's in my buyer list right now until all of these things are done and until we're in escrow. And then once she's in escrow, I can just easily move her to under contract and, remove not pre-approved and add under contract. So then I know that she's under, the labels are just kind of up to you if you want to even use them, but it's just kind of nice to have things color coded if that's like how your brain works. That's the nice thing about Trello is like it's so customizable. Everyone can have different checklists, everyone has something different that they offer. So like Um, obviously, you're not going to talk to the Humane Society that you are near to sponsor a dog, because like that's my thing. I mean, if you want to do that too, that's totally fine. But like that's mine. So a normal CRM, you know, isn't going to have that, and I can go through and customize it. One thing that's really cool about checklists is if you so you can just create a checklist. So here, you know, if you have a team member, like if you have a TC or something, you can add a team member here. Labels, like I said, they're just up to you. If you want to use them, you don't have to. So you can uncheck them and check them if you want them. And then checklists, you just create a checklist, or you can copy the checklist items from any of these things. So like if I have the buyer initiation and then I delete this on accident, and I'm like, oh wait, well now we're going back to that because I thought we were going under escrow, but now she's not under escrow anymore, then I can go to checklists and then copy the buyer initiation from someone else and then add it. And then you can move it up or down wherever you know, if you want to move it below that other one. And then if you want to create a checklist from scratch, you know, like, I don't know. What should a checklist be? So if I just want to say like, I don't know, help. So then I can say like, you know, send contractor info. And then too, if you have like a doc that like, so if you already have all these checklists somewhere, written somewhere, you know, on your sheets or whatever. So like if you have a checklist that says, you know, send contractor, call mom, and then you can just copy and paste that list and then just insert it into here, and then it will create its own little bubbles for each of those, which is nice to know, especially if you're a newbie to Trello. So then I can just delete these. I can add a due date if you pay for the upgrade. What I do is I add a due date for like when we're supposed to close escrow. So like if we're supposed to close escrow on the 30th, and I just put that there. So you can also do attachments, which I feel like is super helpful for pre-approvals or anything like that, especially for buyers, so that you can have them in here all organized. And then there's, you know, you can copy it and archive it if you need. So once, you know, she gets closed out and we check off all those things, and I just say archive and it's gone. Not forever, like you can find it in your archives if you need to, which is helpful. So, and then too, so like say, does everyone understand that, how that works? Is there any?
Yeah, it's super good so far. Like everything that you're talking about is on point. Hey, will you do me a quick favor? Will you click on the chat and it might say like who's in the waiting room? Will you admit everybody in the waiting room? Because you're the host, I can't do it anymore.
Oh, okay.
Who am I privileged?
Yes.
Did that work?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now, it's basically like Pinterest for your business, right? That's the way that I word it, because I get like pins and boards and saves and moves and all of that. And like for me, my brain, that just clicks.
No,
Let me
definitely.
ask you, do you currently pay for the pro version of this?
No, this is just all free.
So that's amazing. So you have this all beautifully laid out, all of your checklists. You've got your awesome boards, and you've got a good amount of boards and cards, and this is still all free.
Yeah, which is, and that's the thing about, like, I'll show you guys too my templates and a couple more things, a couple more ways that I use it. But this just, I mean, let alone for like the CRM aspect of it, like I've never been more willing to like, so I feel like I personally have the fear of like signing into my CRM just because I know there's so many people in there and like it scares me and I know I'm not going to be able to call them all. So then, you know, on Tuesdays I have it set to update all of my sellers. So I just go in here and look at my, you know, pre-listing, active listing, and under contract sellers. And I just say, okay, like now it's time for me to update them on a Tuesday. And then on a Thursday, I'm going to go in and look at all the buyers and, you know, make sure that I'm able to serve them all, you know, and just even once you see their name, it just like, if you know you're going to look at buyers and you just see their name and then you like, it clicks, like, you know what you need to do, but when you don't see their name, then it kind of, I feel like for me, I just don't, you know, pay attention. And then that's when people get lost and, you know, it's hard to do all that.
Keep their
So
contact information anywhere within like their own individual card or anything like specific to them, or if there's like anything like you need to know?
so normally I don't have a problem like saving their contact information. Like if they're getting added to here, I have their contact information saved in my phone. You know, like I'll add their emails if I need to, or like if I know that I need to call them, then I'll like go in and put it in there. But so then that way I can, you know, if I need to refer back to it, but that lady is saved in my phone under her same contact. So once I see her name, I can just go on my phone and text her and I don't have to, you know, worry about going into the Trello board and finding her phone number or whatever it might be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like this lady, Nikki, I haven't talked to her in a while. I sent her to get pre-approved. She didn't. So what I can do is I can then move her to a different board. So that's what the prospects board is for, you know, people that kind of fell off, or, you know, you give them a call and they're saying, oh, we want to wait till after transaction or after the holidays. So she is not on this list anymore. Now she's over on prospects. So this is what my prospects board looks like. So this is like anyone that you see at a grocery store, at Thanksgiving, and they're like, oh, well, we might want to sell our house, you know, after Jessica goes to college or whatever. So then you can go here and just, well, so I always suggest starting them out on your pipeline because that's where your templates are. So if they're going to be a seller, then you can take them and move them. So once you've made their card, then you just move them over to prospects. And then I have potential buyers and potential sellers, so I'll move them there. And then I go over to prospects and then they're there. And so they already have the checklist and everything. And then when they do decide they want to sell, then I just move them back over to pipeline and in whatever category they're supposed to go to. But then that way, you know, you're not having templates here too, and it's not like overwhelming. So then there's just all the people that you know, are potential. So then like I'll say why they're on the potential list. And like if they tell me like, you know, 6 months or give me a date or something. So like if someone says, oh, we're going to sell next year, like in the summer, then you'll just go here and just create a due date and save it so that it reminds you when, you know, they said they were going to sell. And then you can go in and take that off and that makes sense. And then another way that I use Trello is my templates are all in here. So I have my checklists are all right here. So, you know, if I send out a referral, this is my referral checklist. So I just make sure to send a referral agreement. After closing, make sure that the agent received their payment and then send a thank you note. So, you know, or specific things like septic and well. So like these, obviously it's only specific to those certain properties. And so that's why there's like a whole board of checklists. So if, I come across a transaction where it's, a probate sale or a short sale, and I'm then having to, add new documents or get new things done, then I can just create another card and do short sale, and then go in here and then create a checklist for short sale, and then go in here and, get approved by a mortgage company, and then whatever other things that I might need to do to during a short sale or whatever. And one of the things that the paid version does is you can add a due date for specific boxes, and then you can also add someone to take care of that task, which is nice. But depending on what kind of business you're doing and what kind of team you have, then that will depend on if you need those things or not. But what I do is like, I'll just take the buyer template, and then, when I have to confirm the deposit to escrow, I'll just have my TC put into my calendar what day that gets done, or you could do it yourself. So if you just keep on top of that, then you don't really need to pay the extra $10, someone can do it. And then I have all my buyer email templates and my seller email templates. So like my initiation email, this is everything that I send. And so then if things change, I can just go in here and edit it. And then I have my attachments. So this is a link to my Canva buyer's guide. So then if, I'm sending out this email and I'm not, on my computer, or I don't have, if I'm somewhere else, I can just log into my Trello and I'll have this, and then it's linked, and then I just save this as a PDF and then send it off. And so then I don't know about you guys, but like certain, like if someone asks me what a pre-foreclosure is on Zillow, then I just have this saved in here. And like I said, the app, you can see everything that you do, that you can see on the computer, you can see on your phone. So then you can just go into the app and copy and paste this and text it back to someone when they ask about it. So that's super nice to have. And then the checklist and everything. So then, I have the certain thing, like if I'm sending my resume, then it's just linked in here and I don't have to worry about trying to find it. It's all, in one spot. So does anyone have any questions?
You're doing this on a super high level, like so impressive. It is beautiful. I felt like I knew what I was doing, but my boards do not look beautiful like yours.
It took me a second, but it's not too hard. And so I'll show you guys what I use when I use a board with someone else. So this is my board that I use with my virtual assistant. So I have our list of things to do. You can still see me, right? Our list of things to do, passwords for different accounts, any logos or photos, and then this is our completed list. So when I upload a video into Google Drive for her to edit, I just create new video, and then I go in and add a checklist of the things she's supposed to do. They're all pretty much the same, and then once she's done editing it, she'll go in and say, "Hi, Casey, this video is scheduled for what date?" And so that's super nice to have. And so if you have a TC and you can add them to your Trello board, or if you have an assistant or a team or whoever, then you can just add them to the board, and then they can edit things, and that's super helpful, or check boxes off. Especially for contract wise and getting documents signed. And if you, or your TC can create a checklist for you so that what you're supposed to be doing or whatever it might be. Anyone have any questions?
That is so good.
I recently, oh, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Or no? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think my wife like going in and out. So you can hear me, or
Yeah.
yay or nay? Thumbs up. Okay, good. Okay, anyways. Okay, got it. With Trello, I live by Google Calendar, and what's really cool is like here and stuff, like with the due dates and the reminders, it's just so helpful because it syncs with my Google Calendar. So it's just like, I feel like follow up is the hardest thing for real estate agents, and it's the hardest thing for me. And I feel like I'm always trying to get better, and I'm always trying to improve. And so the more reminders I can have, the better. So having them like on Trello, but also having it synced with my calendar is super helpful. But something that you can do so much more on here, because we shared in our accountability group, and it was like everybody that shared their Trello boards, everyone's was so different. And I feel like I got little different ideas from everybody. So maybe next week we could like share our Trello boards, because I'm sure ours are so different from each other and different from Casey's, and people maybe will see more and kind of get a better idea. Because I mean, it's kind of hard to figure out in the beginning. Like, I'm so glad I had Casey to like ask my one-on-one questions. But like now that I'm rolling with it, I feel like now I have a hang of it and I just love it so much. But it does take a second to like grasp, don't you think?
Yeah, I think especially like I said, it's literally Alyssa's Trello class will
On
help
YouTube?
you get, on YouTube, will get you like the basics. Like I watched it like 4 times before I even understood like what I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And so I think too, you kind of got to figure out, what is in your business right now, what's working for you, and then how can you, turn that into a system on Trello. And so I think everyone is different, and like you can like if there's a Facebook group called like Trello users or something, join that. People use it for all sorts of things, business, like my friend Cassie uses it for like her meal planning, and she has like recipes and like snack ideas and like all sorts of stuff. You can use it for your kids, your dogs. Like I'm sure everyone can find a use for it. It's just a matter of, taking the time to figure out, how it's going to work for you. And I think too, having the app is helpful so that you can kind of, check it on the go and
make notes and
keep
stuff
up
when
on
you're
it.
out and about it. You're not at your laptop.
If you're using Google Drive, Google Drive only allows you so much space before they start charging you. So if you're a part of a team or you have individuals and you want to upload documents or scripts or presentations, this is a great way to do that, because you're allowed so much space and so many users. I think just the upgrades come with, the more advanced features that it allows. So this could be a great way for you to cut an expense out and transfer everything over here to Trello. Casey, when it comes to...
I would pay for Trello.
Yeah, definitely. Casey, when it comes to creating the checklist, is there anything like that helped you with creating them? Because you've got a lot of checklists, a lot.
Well, I did take Katie's agent systems class from Hustle Humbly, and so that helped a bunch because there were like a bunch provided. And then too, your company might have checklists that they can offer. And then like for pre-listing, like that's my marketing plan, so I had that like already written out in a checklist. And so I was able to just copy that directly. If anyone wants to join my Facebook group, it's called Digital Planning for Realtors. There is my marketing checklist for what I provide for sellers in there. But I think if you just, take a week and figure out, what you're doing for each client and write that down, then you're able to, get some checklists in order. Or if you don't have any in order right now, and you like aspire to, send out postcards with each listing or whatever it might be, then, if you take a few minutes to write it down, then it'll be much easier in the long run.
I love it.
That makes
There's
sense?
so much great information that you gave us in just 30 minutes.